down and ready to ride. One by one, billion by billion, and holding up half the sky. Raise your hand if you're ready and willing, if you know it's time. Time for a girl on time. Time for a girl on time. Time for a
I do like that. It's growing on me every single day when I listen to it. I hope everybody is doing well today. It is, in fact, Tuesday, Taco Tuesday, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm sorry I'm a little bit late. Well, I'm sorry, not sorry. You know how it is. I was doing things. Michelle, I saw you pop in last night right as we were leaving. You've made this one, though. Good job. Glad to hear it. Glad to see it. Sorry, I was distracted. My ears had disappeared because of this green screen, I guess. Oh, so funny. So funny. If any Canadians are out there, you know what this cup means. Roll Up the Rim is back at Tim Hortons Coffee, which is sort of it originated where basically the rim of your coffee mug would literally have a little spot on it, and you would roll it up and it would tell you, it was like McDonald's sort of Monopoly, like you would win prizes, you would win donuts, different things like that. But there was also big prizes that you could win. And so people, there was a couple lawsuits about people finding cups in the garbage can and then claiming the prize on them. And then a person who threw it away coming by later and saying, wait, that was my cup that was in the garbage. Which I find quite interesting. Legally, I did a Walmart pickup order today, guys, and I got a lot of bananas. Lots of bananas. Anyways, what are we going to watch? Oh, thank y'all, Bad Scooter. I like this shirt too. I really like the neckline of it. It doesn't fit me properly anymore. I can wear it streaming because you guys can't see past here, but I won't wear this out anymore. Let's just say that. I need to get it in a bigger size. If you throw something away, then you shouldn't be able to claim it's yours anymore. That's a pretty good point. I do. Oh, you guys are so sweet. Polka dots. Yeah, you know, the cup thing, it's a weird thing in Canada. And so nowadays, it's not even on the cup. It's on the app. So it says roll up the rim. Sorry. Roll up the rim. Oh God, I can't get it. There it is. Roll up the rim to win. Or gagner, which is win in French. March 4th to the 31st. But it says here, play only on the app and online. So you have to like scan. It's silly now. It's not as fun. It's not as fun. So today we actually, hi Hunter, how are you? What can you win? What does it say I could win? $10,000 daily jackpot, millions of coffee and food prizes to be won, millions. And then there's, it looks like Volkswagen, Hilton, Samsung, Home Hardware, Rakuten, Sportsnet, Cineplex, Instacart, Hudson's Bay Company, and Bass Pro Shops are the supporters or the title people. So I think that that's the kind of stuff you could win. Actually, why don't we roll up? We'll roll it on my app together because I did buy this one on the app. So hold on. Go to my app. You go to roll up the rim, roll up to win, it says. And I'll show you. Miss Carrie. Love you. I love you. Oh my God. Okay, you guys, before we get, I need your help. It says, before we get started, we need to make sure you're eligible to win. Please solve the math problem below to get you rolling. Multiply 5 times 4, 20. Divide by 10, 2. Add 40, 42. Subtract 7, 35. Is it 35? 35 is an option. Let's see if that is the correct option. Yes! Congratulations, I passed the skill testing question. Now, here, oh my God, I can't. Okay, I'm going to turn off the green screen for a second. It's not going to look good if I do that, but whatever. Hold on. Accept. Oh, I have 2 rolls that we can do together. Hold on, settings, virtual background. There we go. Okay. Okay. So big year, big prizes. At the bottom, we can see that I have 2. I don't win for getting the math right. No, in Canada, that's just like you have to do that in order to have the thing. So, okay, we're going to hit the roll. Let's roll. So now you literally roll it up. So you come down here and you go like this. Wait, come here. There it is. Winner. What did I win? A donut. I want a donut for the first one. Okay, that's pretty cool. And I've earned an entry for $10,000. Now let's go for, I have 2 rolls. So let's get my next roll and do a donut. Or let's win more. Let's win something else, shall we? Okay. And oh, no, I'm not sharing it. I want to roll it. Oh, jeez. You can share them. That's interesting. I never knew that you could do that. Okay, roll now. My phone's so dirty. Oh, not my lucky cup. Okay. But wait, I've been given an entry into the daily jackpot. So I got 2 into the jackpot. Yeah. And that is a very Canadian experience that you've all just experienced. Roll up the rim to win. March 4th to the 30th. Hi, Lucy. How are you doing? Thank you guys for the donut. So now that's in my app. So now I can just get a donut. And I also I've got enough points for a coffee already. Look at me. Call that winning. Now, this is not a Bubba Cup. My Bubba Cup is over at the sink getting washed right now. I was at the hat 007. Oh yeah, I gotta turn the screen back on. I was over at the no, but you can't now, Vicky. So like you get the win when you get the points when you buy the coffee. You can't get it from a cup anymore. And that's sort of the shitty part about it. Okay, settings. I played a game on a coffee cup. Tim Hortons, roll up the rim to win. And you know what's funny is they used to actually sell these special things that would cut your rims and then roll it for you because it was so popular. Like they literally would sell these special rim cutters. I remember those too. It's funny. I may as well just finish that coffee off and move on from that. So, okay, we did that together. We rolled up the rim to win. We won a donut. Great. Next, what are we talking about? Oh, TPOs. Okay. So some of you might have seen on, it is a Canadian thing. Yes, it's absolutely Canadian. You may have seen on Credence and Mikey earlier today, they did some TPO stuff. Hi, Erica. But they did not cover all of them. And I think this is going to be a really interesting one to watch together. Very interesting. I'll say that. So let me get that ready to go. And let me find it. Where is it? Hold on. Okay, give me 1 second. I really thought I had that. I really thought I had that. But it's okay. We'll get it here. Look. Okay. Oh, yes. Oh, fucking yes. I did get it already. See? Sorry, I'm paying attention to that and just checking to see what happened. I already had it. So just couldn't see it for some reason, but don't worry. Here we go. Present. My eyes look really blue. Almost done. Okay, so yeah, also guys, I got my Walmart grocery order today. It's been 2 weeks since my last one, so that's pretty good. But they didn't have any eggs. Terrible. No eggs. There we go. Okay, here we go. There it is. Perfect. Okay. Here we go.
Go ahead and be seated, everybody. All right, I hope that wasn't too much of a disruption. All right, Mr. Andrews, let's call Mayfield versus Barton and Malone, 24-30. Okay. So, Miss Mayfield, where are you? Okay, would you come up to the table?
Can Lisa come up with me?
Yes, Lisa can come up with you. Yep. Morning. Now that that microphone there that's lighted up, that's what captures your voice and makes it so that Mr. Andrews and everybody else can hear you.
Okay.
Yeah, that's fine. Okay, so when I called your case before,
Yes.
I made the comment that the first thing I was going to ask you and Mr. Andrews to address is whether this is a case involving rights to property, real property. And the reason I did that is because under the law, if a dispute between parties involves the right to use property, be on property, where a property line is, who's using it correctly or incorrectly, even if that property is an easement, then the jurisdiction to hear the case is with the Superior Court, not the District Court. And the issues can't be resolved.
Hi, Hector. I think the bigger issue, he's not driving, he's in a car, but he's not wearing his seatbelt. And I don't know that that's very smart, but he has a lawyer in this hearing. That's his lawyer right there, looking very dark and mysterious. And you guys, this is gonna be a whacked out couple minutes. I'm just warning you right now. We are going to hear some weird ass shit in a minute. Okay. He was driving. I swear I'm pretty positive his wife's driving, but I may be wrong.
Resolved by the district court in an anti-harassment hearing. It's a different kind of hearing that would have to be heard in a different court. And rather than,
I think you could call it a shit show. A shit show. K Crimson. A shit show.
spend any time trying to resolve your dispute. If it's not a dispute that can be resolved here, I want to get an answer to that so that it can be in the right court so that it can get resolved correctly. So since you brought the petition, Ms. Mayfield,
Yes.
I'm going to turn to you first and ask you why the matter shouldn't be transferred to the Superior Court to resolve there.
I'm not here for the property dispute. I'm here for an anti-harassment protection order. I don't know how to put all this because I am not at ease anymore going on to my property alone.
Can somebody put in, I can't remember what the command is. Is it exclamation mark points or exclamation mark, one of those to explain to Hunter about the points?
To repair or to fix because of what happened on the 19th of January. I was up there early morning to measure fencing and gates so that I could replace them and put them back up where they belong and clean up my property. I always felt safe going up there, but I don't feel safe anymore because on that particular morning.
Well, let's don't get into the merits of that part yet.
Okay.
Just,
So
you know, generally, yes, I
Yes.
understand that that's
Yes,
what's,
so
the
that's
allegations
why
are.
I'm here, is to get a protection order that protects me when I'm on my property and to be able to do what I need and want to do there.
Mhm.
Right now, I can't.
Now, has there been, to your recollection, or, you know, do you understand there to have ever been any kind of action in any court between you and Mr. Barton or Ms. Malone regarding the property?
There was, Mr. Barton took me to court. I don't believe it was anti-harassment. He took me to court and claimed that I had said and done all these vile things. Oh, and my husband, Peter,
I'm
we just
getting
ignored it.
Your Honor, I'm
We
getting
just,
from one of the here.
we went to court and it was dismissed with prejudice so that it could be brought back to court again, but we never did bring it back to court again because we just wanted to live our life and just.
Yeah, and I think I saw that order that had been signed dismissing the case. Okay, so your contention then is that this case that's in front of the court right now doesn't have anything to do with real property. So you're not going to ask me at any point during this case to tell him that he can't go on to an easement or can't use an easement, can't put a sign on an easement, use a gate on an easement. You're not interested in that in any way.
I just want him to leave me alone.
All right, and I'll get any response you may have, Mr. Andrews.
Your Honor, this whole issue arose when my client tried to improve the easement on the property in which he has a legal obligation to, and Ms. Mayfield took it upon herself to interfere with that process. Ms. Mayfield contention in respects to what she is claiming is her property is property that is the easement. And Ms. Mayfield, as I had shown in the supporting material that I filed. And I want to caveat all of this, Your Honor, is with the fact that we were not able to serve Miss Mayfield as the court had instructed through certified mail. She had a note on her mailbox that said vacant property, no mail accepted. So I could not serve her by certified mail. I then tried to have her served by a process server at the expense of my client and was not able to effectuate service because she would not answer when the process server tried to attempt contact twice. Lastly, if the court may see from the Superior Court matter that my client filed, that matter was dismissed because Miss Mayfield would never make herself available for service. Even though she appeared in court, she never actually appeared to get served, and that's why that matter in Superior Court brought by my client was dismissed. So to say that this is not about property, I think is sort of, is it about
disingenuous? I think it's disingenuous. And the issue here, guys, if you're just joining us, these are TPO hearings in Thurston County, temporary protective orders or anti-harassment hearings. They are not a workaround for property disputes, and that is what the judge is tiptoeing around here. The property decisions about property lines, about property disputes, all those kinds of things happen in Superior Court, not in, is this a district court? I think this is district court. Yes, this is district court. So not in district court. And so the judge, quite right, ahead of time is saying, hey, all of this sort of stems from an easement issue, a property dispute that I am not allowed to give orders on. But the lady really wants to tell us what she's going to tell us here in a little bit. I have no fucking clue why, but she wants to let it out, let's say.
The use of property? Well, not in my client's mind. It's not, because he's doing what he's legally obligated to do. And Ms. Mayfield has utilized this process to interfere with my client's ability to access and create barriers for him to improve upon and access his property through the easement. So, you know, it's an interesting question that the court has proposed, one in which I wondered if it was going to come up, because I wasn't sure what Miss Mayfield's contention was in respects to what her allegations are. Her allegations were specific to 2 points, that being the incident that allegedly occurred on the 9th.
Sorry, it's Bev, exclamation mark Bev. I don't know if it will put your name in there if you do Bev, or if it, because I only ever see Beverly Bradford use it, but you know, Patrick B, what's up, buddy? What's up? Yeah.
19th and the incident that allegedly occurred on the 20th. I addressed those 2 issues specifically with supporting documentation, one in which have the declarations of my client's employer, which states that could not have happened. It was not in any way feasible for that interaction to have ever occurred. And Miss Mayfield has made incorrect or erroneous allegations regarding that incident because my client was at work, you know, 50, 60 miles away at the time that those allegations were to have allegedly occurred. Additionally, my client, in anticipation of sort of this building situation regarding the easement, had filmed in his home Miss Mayfield posting signs on the easement about no trespassing, There's a video and photos of Miss Mayfield.
Videos and photos of Miss Mayfield. Chris Engleby. Hello. Look at this. I love playing this. Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. Thank you, Chris. Oh, so appreciate it. I know you hit the like button. I don't have to tell you about that. I do not have to tell Chris Engleby, the prolific known gifter, to comment or like videos. He does that. Thank you, Chris. Hi, I hope you're well. Also, if you're new here but you want your own command, just come on down and let us know. We love making commands for everybody. Even though we don't use Streamlabs anymore, but shh, don't tell them. I don't know how to explain that situation, to be honest with you. Thank you so much, Chris. You guys, seriously, buckle up for when the lady talks again.
Taking debris and putting it in an area that essentially in an attempt to block roadway traffic on the easement to Mr. Barton's residence. So I don't know. The question for the court is this about real property? I don't know. But is it, pertain to these two incidents? I would say that she's made two specific allegations. Regardless, Miss Mayfield hasn't been served, and I was going to ask the court to allow us to serve her electronically to ensure that she has any material that my client, the respondent, has filed in response to this, as to ensure that this hearing is conducted appropriately.
Okay, and here's why I raised these concerns. All the time, and I'll, addressing you too, Ms. Mayfield, both of you. This court hears anti-harassment petitions in the context where people are neighbors. I mean, live right next door to each other in, like a residential, neighborhood type setting. I know Tempo Lake area out there is maybe a little bit different because there's bigger tracts of property and so forth, but just for an example. And all the time there are allegations of different kinds of, conduct, words exchanged, things that people do that, maybe they're intended to harass, maybe they get on each other's nerves. And the court can handle situations like that because you're just essentially arranging or making restrictions on the conduct of parties with regard to each other. And the fact that they live right next door to each other, maybe that is not, that may be how they know each other or something like that, but there's nothing about their property ownership with relation to each other that is in any way tied up with the substance of the allegations.
Oh my gosh, Jonathan. You rock my world. I really hope people got those. That's one thing I don't like about this stupid system. I can't see if they got given out. Arbitrarily rich. Yeah, I get you. Also, a reminder to everybody, happy days, but also, if you can't give or you don't feel like it and you don't want to, that's okay too. I'm just glad you're here. Just remember that, okay? And to do points, you don't need to be a member. You don't have to pay any money. It's all included. All included. Okay, here. Like, these guys are handling this so tactfully. They're like, lady, this is about a fucking easement.
And then there are other cases, and this arises too in this court with some frequency, where not only are the origins of the allegations based in a dispute over property, in other words, the hostility, the actions that are alleged to have taken place, actions like people attempting to stop someone else from using property in a certain way, or claiming a right to be able to use property in a certain way, or attempting to prevent another party by doing things like posting signs or blocking access or anything like that. That is material to the dispute itself. In other words, the dispute between the parties is animated by this property issue, this real property issue. And secondly, any orders that the court may issue in order to address the hostility between the parties is inevitably bound up in their right to use or access property. In other words, if the court were to issue an order, it would have the effect of limiting, restricting, or prohibiting one person to use or access property in order to prevent the dispute from arising again. And and it's an important question to ask and to resolve, because one, it may not be an anti-harassment type case in any event. It may be a different type of case. It may be a quiet title action. I don't know. But then secondly, this court doesn't have jurisdiction to make arrangements in other words, the court doesn't have the ability to decide whose claim to property is the valid claim or not valid. This court can't do it. The Superior Court is the only court that can do it. So the law is written, I mean, the anti-harassment law in RCW 7.105 specifically tells this court that if the matter is going to affect someone's right to property, to real property, that the matter has to be transferred to the Superior Court. Because, and if you think about it, it makes sense, right? I mean, if that issue can't be resolved, then the underlying dispute isn't being addressed. And any order that this court does issue wouldn't really be very effective, because that underlying issue still remains unresolved. If you go to Superior Court can resolve all issues between you. So I don't want to, Mr. Andrews, to address your point, I don't want to continue this if all it's going to do is result in confirming my suspicion that this case is totally bound up in real property, and any issues any orders the court issues would affect people's right to property and would have to be decided in Superior Court anyway.
I believe that may be the appropriate remedy, is that the court dismiss this action and Ms. Mayfield has to file this in Superior Court. And the reason being is, and I know Your Honor was not the judicial officer sitting before the court last time we were here, but Ms. Mayfield said, and I don't want to, in summary, she asked if she was going to be able to begin action in doing things on her property. And I say that loosely because, I mean, it's an easement that it runs between both of their properties. And she wanted basically the blessing by the judicial officer on the bench at that time. I believe it may have been Judge Myers, who said, no, well, and said almost the exact same thing. This is this is not about property. This isn't about who can do what or when in respects to property issues. So that, given that statement and what the court has stated here, it would be our position that if that's what Ms. Mayfield's intention is with this property, this is not the appropriate venue.
Yeah, and now I want to be clear too, that I did read all the parties' filings from the original petition all the way to the latest filings in the case. And I can't separate this into simply, personal interaction issues versus real property issues. I don't think that's possible in these circumstances. And I think it would be, if we were to go through with a hearing and
Risk again with the gifting. Thank you. Do. You rock my world. I'm still trying to figure out how you can see me dancing when that goes off, but I haven't figured that out yet. Thank you so much, Chris. Oh, the gift that keeps on gifting. Wait, now I'm seeing double. Did you do it twice? You did. Thank you. Do. Hey, thank you. That's wait. Okay, now I'm getting confused. Again, Chris, you are too sweet. Thank you. Do. Oh, yay! And I hope they're going out to people. Please make sure you've got gifting turned on. We have amazing people here like Chris and Jonathan who support the channel. They support me. They help you become a member where you can have some fun things. We do have a great group here, Lisa. We really do. I'm so blessed. So blessed and lucky to have you guys as my little family here. Also, you guys are going to piss your pants laughing here in a minute. Just let you know. This is going to be a good one.
Carefully tried to avoid crafting any order that would, in any way affect anyone's right to property. The underlying issue would not change in any way. And any order that might come out of that in order to try to avoid those issues, I think would be completely unworkable anyway. So my inclination is to do this. I would dismiss the action, and Ms. Mayfield dismissed without prejudice. Obviously, it wouldn't affect your right to file it anywhere else. But I'm not telling you what to do, but I do think that the correct way to address the dispute between the parties here is to go to Superior Court and sort it out. Now, you may want to discuss this with an attorney, and maybe there's a way that it could be negotiated to a satisfactory resolution without having to go to court to do it. But I don't think your time is well spent here, because this court's jurisdiction over the issues you bring here is either very, very limited or not at all. There is none at all.
May I say something?
Oh, ma'am, before you do, imagine, I used to be guilty of this. Sometimes I would just stop recording or stop listening and be like, all right, we're done. And you think, he just said, what did he just say? We're dismissing this case without prejudice. You can bring it back in Superior Court, the correct venue, which sounds completely fair. But she does not agree. As we will see.
I do know the difference, and I know how everything reads as being people thinking that it's the property thing. But I'm in my 70s, and to have dogs lunging towards me when I'm just walking on my property is a threat, and it terrifies me. Terrifies me to the point where the day that it happened, I slowly walked up to my car, got in, got up to my home, to the main driveway, got inside my home, and my knees buckled underneath me. I was so terrified and so afraid that I actually urinated on myself, having to clean myself up, pack my bags, and leave the property.
I'm sorry, what? We're going to have to just go back here. She said, I slowly
walked up to my car, got in, got up to my home, to the main driveway, got inside my home.
Yeah.
And my knees buckled underneath me. I was so terrified and so afraid that I actually urinated on myself, having to clean myself up, pack my bags, and leave the property. I spent the following Monday in court
What?
to get the
What in the we're going back. We're going back. We have to listen to it again. She hi, by the way, hi Mikey. Did you notice this one today? She's a Karen. I'm getting Karen vibes. Courtney, bruh. Also, what a good point, Hector. What a good point. And I told you guys you would not expect what she's saying. Like, this is not like, how do you slowly go to your car, get in into your car, make it back to your house, then pee on yourself? I don't. I'm confused. And remember, the judge is not listening. Hold on. I'm gonna pop out of here so that we can see the judge's face up close. Hold on. Like this. So we're gonna listen to her say it again from the start. And then you guys are fucking hilarious. Oh my god. She peed herself and had to clean it up. That's why she needs a TPO. Oh god. I gotta focus. Or she did. No, I've still got it, William. Marking her line. You guys are terrible. And like, are they that feral, the dogs? You can see why the lawyer guy and him are just like a little bit weirded out by this whole thing. Hi, Dawn. Is it TMI? It's not TMI chat for once. It's not TMI chat. It's her. She brought all this up with no frickin' prompting. None. It was. Oh. Okay, let's watch his face because we didn't see the judge's face. I was over top of him. Oh my god. I love you guys.
to have dogs lunging towards me when I'm just walking on my property is a threat, and it terrifies me. Terrifies me to the point where the day that it happened, I slowly walked up to my car, got in, got up to my home, to the main driveway, got inside to my home, and my knees buckled underneath me. I was so terrified and so afraid that I actually urinated on myself, having to clean myself up, pack my bags, and leave the property. I spent the following Monday in court to get the temporary order. Saturday, I went up there to give some things away to my friends.
What is going on? Give some things away. Again, she says it so nonchalantly. I slowly made my way to the car. I didn't piss in the car because I know that'd be hard to clean up. Yeah, I'm getting that sense. Also, thank you, Donna, Miss Orlando Chiquito. Please, thank you. You rock my world. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. Make sure you have gifting turned on. The judge is pursing his lips. He ain't happy about that. Thank you again, Donna. The dogs don't like you crazily. This is nuts. And remember, we're not even hearing the case right now. The judge is like, I don't think this is about what you think it is about. Savage with her freaking. Oh my god. Okay. Mikey, thank you so much. You love this lady. Yay! Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. She is interesting. I'll say that. Presto. Why are you yelling? Lisa, I warned you that this was gonna be a crazy little bit. This lady is nuts. Dawn, you guys are terrible. You're terrible. Oh my God. Okay, and now people are yelling at me too. Fucking idiot.
And while they were there, I was asked what I was gonna do for the next day or two or the rest of the day. I said, well, I gotta go put these signs up so that I can fix what I need to fix up around here. Again, the dogs weren't lunging, but they were present with muzzles on their faces in the front of his.
They had muzzles on? Hi, Billy. I heard Billy was shadow banned from Credence and Mikey. No, I was joking. I'm just joking. This lady's nuts.
Gate. Now, when a person is so terrified, they can't even go home and feel safe. To me, that's a separate issue than the property issue. It's an issue of being so terrified. I don't want to be a statistic of a missing person or another Indigenous woman missing or murdered. And that's how I feel when I'm up there, because I don't know what my neighbor is capable of doing. If he's capable of pulling his dogs out on me, what else is he capable of doing? That's why I brought this before the court, not because there's this process of what he believes he needs to do and what I believe I need to do with the property. This is completely separate. And to feel so terrified, even just be in the presence of such a human being, that scares me. My two friends were there. They saw how afraid I was. But I can't even go up there without having people with me now and feel safe in my home. That's why I brought it before your court.
Okay.
And may I
And
speak?
the issues that you're talking about can be resolved in the Superior Court. In other words, the Superior Court can take an anti-harassment order, which is the type of case that this is, and issue orders as part of it that do affect people's right to property. That's what I'm talking about.
But this
So-
isn't regarding property.
Here's another. I actually just fucking put this together, you guys, because I didn't watch this entire thing. I just watched a little bit of it. I heard her talk about pissing herself, and I thought, oh yeah, we'll have to watch this. Here's the thing. What did she just say? She just pulled the missing and murdered Indigenous women. We actually have an inquiry into that in Canada, and it's a big thing. Listen now. She's going to lay something out here that sort of disputes that claim.
This is
Yeah,
regarding.
ma'am, you can't argue the case on behalf of your friend. It's got to be her. If you're here as a witness, that I would hear from you in that context. And
I was
if
there
you're here as
and
a
I saw
support
his
person,
dogs.
that's fine. But,
I was there and saw his dogs.
okay. No, I'm not, like I said, I'm not,
I-
the preliminary issue, I'm not really digging into so much
Okay.
that, but what I can do is the order that was issued, which is still in effect, can be transferred to the Superior Court and just decided there. That's all I'm saying. It will stay in effect as is, which, I'm looking at the restraint provisions here in the order, and it's still, it directs The respondents, no harm, no contact, no stalking, and stay away, as long as the stay away doesn't exclude them from their property. And that can remain in effect, same as it's been in effect since the day this case was filed in January, until it's heard in Superior Court. And I can have the clerk right here, get a court date in Superior Court, and have the entire thing packaged up as is, no changes, to go over to Superior Court to be decided there.
I'm not prepared right now, Your Honor, to do anything with Superior Court. I don't have the funds for that. I don't have the funds to hire an attorney.
Okay.
When
Well,
Peter was alive, we had the luxury of having his tribal court and lawyers help us. I do not have that because I am not a tribal member.
Well,
Sorry, what was that? You're not Indigenous? Is that really what that just means? So you just cried wolf about becoming a statistic about something really serious in terms of missing and murdered Indigenous women, and you would classify that yourself as that, but not you're not? Like, I just realized that. I just put that together watching it the second. Oh my gosh, that's crazy. Yeah, she put back the race card and pulled out the dead husband card. Her husband was Indigenous, but that doesn't make her Indigenous. Again, that's problematic to me. I don't like that. I don't like, and there might be a difference between being a tribe member and just being Indigenous. I don't know, man. I don't know. I just don't like the implications that she's making. Though I would hazard a guess that the majority of missing and murdered Indigenous women, of which there are a number in the province that I live in, British Columbia, were not neighbor disputes. Knock on wood. I mean, hopefully. It's terrible to think about, but I just don't like her invoking that for her own gain, in a sense, at this point. I don't really like it. I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like it. And I also don't like how the judge is now appeasing her. So remember, right before we heard her speak, we realized the judge says, this is going to Superior Court. This is not to be heard here. Refile. I'm going to dismiss it without prejudice. Now, watch what happens.
So I don't have that luxury of paying an attorney or going to court or filing other charges.
No, well, this is what I'm trying to explain to you. The Superior Court will hear this exact case that we have in front of us now.
Oh, she doesn't have a lawyer, just so you know. That's her friend, not a lawyer. She doesn't have a lawyer.
The same information, the same case, it's the same case type. It's just that it would be effectively be the same thing as if we continued this case here, only the next time you come to court, you're going to be in front of a Superior Court judge in the building next door, where they do have the ability to not only address the issues you're talking about with being afraid of the dogs and thinking that, there's a chance that he's trying to intimidate you and so forth with the dogs, and make decisions in such a way that if it incidentally affects the right to use property, access it at a certain time, whatever the court thinks is the appropriate way to address it, the court can. This court can't.
Okay, I understand.
That's what I mean. So you wouldn't be in a different position in terms of, your case being, just dismissed and then you're on your own.
Okay,
So
thank you
Kayla,
for clarifying that.
yeah, and I know that's confusing. That's confusing to judges sometimes too, because this law area is a little bit complex and sometimes it's not always clear exactly how it applies. But what I wouldn't want to do is do something wrong that's going to result in an order that's ineffective,
Okay,
that doesn't do what you need it to do.
Okay.
or that causes confusion for everybody later down the line, and then you're just right back in court again trying to straighten it out.
Okay, the other thing, Your Honor, is that mailbox has been closed for over a year. We have our mail going to a different address for a long time because our mail was being tampered with.
I understand that
Yeah.
that happens a lot. And
Yeah,
you know,
so-
to make it easier, we're gonna get a date.
Yeah, I'm gonna reach out to.
Yeah, and it might take a few minutes, but
Okay,
we're gonna
that's
do.
fine.
And then you don't have to worry about that because everybody will have everybody else's information to get, you know, documents and so forth served on each other.
As far as his attempt to try and serve me, my forwarding address is with the post office. I get all of our mail there. So I've not received any kind of notice of it, and I've been watching for it.
In your order, she represented to the court that we could serve her by certified mail, which is done through the post office.
That's what I want,
I-
a certified mail.
And Your Honor, except for the fact that the post office through certified mail would have made an attempt to serve at the forwarding address, and
No,
none of that was on file. I would
Yeah,
ask,
you know, as far as dates though, we'll get you dates so you don't have to worry about serving those, but I would suggest that you just give each other, you know, right here, right now, like an email address or a definitive way that you can exchange documents so that there doesn't have to
can
be a
mail it to
discussion
me.
at a court hearing.
the mail always comes to me.
Your Honor, and that's what she
That's
said.
my choice. I don't want Mr. Barton having my email address. I don't want lawyers having my email address. I don't.
Well, that's exactly what Ms. Mayfield said last time, Your Honor. And unfortunately, when we went to go
Stand by that.
to certified mail, it's not, it can't be effectuated because there is not an ability for the post office to do that based on what I filed with the court.
Okay, and you know, I'm gonna suggest, Ms. Mayfield, that an easy way to do this is to just get an email address, like a Gmail address, and use that
I'm
only for
sorry,
the
Your Honor.
purposes of this case.
I'm sorry, Your Honor, but his papers can come to me in the mail. I look for it. I was looking for it for the last, was it 28 days? I was waiting for it every single day, even on the weekends, waiting for the mail and for a notice saying you have a certified letter, please come in and get it, signature needed. I would have went and got it. I did not receive anything like that in the mail. I have gone to my post office and I've asked them and they've not seen anything.
Your Honor, we may-
This is
I'm
not.
sorry, but that's just the way it
Right,
is.
this
I'm
isn't
sorry.
something that I can sort out here, but
Yes.
I will tell you that you run the risk of not getting information that you should have for a court hearing. And if you go to court and find out that there was documents that you were supposed to have before the hearing, that can really affect your ability to present the case that you want to present or respond to allegations against you. It's tempting to try to isolate yourself from service of documents, but it is always a bad idea to do it. And I can't sort that out for you right here. You can make your own choices in that regard, but I really think it's in everybody's best interest to be open with each other and easy to exchange information with so that there aren't surprises on the day you walk into court. All right,
Thank you,
I'm gonna
Chris.
have you stand back.
Be safe.
The court clerk will,
I emailed them, I'm gonna have Justin follow
Yeah.
up, but it's not something we usually get right away, we
Yeah.
usually. it's like
yeah, we'll get you another court date in the Superior Court. And in the meantime, the temporary order that was issued originally on January 22nd will remain in effect until that court date.
Thank
But
you,
they'll
Doc.
let us know when it is and I'll issue it as soon as I know.
Thank you.
Okay.
And I do understand what you're telling me about the mail and things. But I'm also giving them another opportunity to try and mail it back to me.
Okay, well, like I said, you're gonna have to
And if they
work that
don't,
out.
Your Honor, the only address I have is the address that's on record with the court. I went through the post office certified mail. If Miss Mayfield has another address that she endorsed the record, I'm happy to use that address to serve her certified mail.
Need to wait back here.
There's an order. I'll
She
have
literally
to
walked
get
away.
from them once I start the
She got up and left.
Yeah. Okay.
And Your Honor,
Are we done here so I can just wait for that paper or?
Yeah, if you just would wait there in the bench for just a few minutes here.
Thank you.
The lawyer's so pissed. He's like, this went off the rails so much. It really did. And here's so
should I go off or turn off my camera and microphone?
Yeah, I'm just getting kind of the basics of this order in place. And the clerk tells me it might be a little while till the Superior Court clerk responds with a date.
And will I have any input on the date? Just because.
No, we won't get any input on the date either. You may.
So we have court date, it's gonna be March 15th, it's a Friday at 9 a.m.
March 15th.
I am, Your Honor, I'm in Philadelphia for a case out of state on March 15th. Is there any other?
We'll see what we can do. We don't set these dates though. They do
No.
over it.
That's why I wanted to be very candid with the court that there are particular dates. The 12th through the 15th, I'm out of state. The 22nd, I'm out of state.
That's the only date they have.
Yeah, they're saying that's the only date they can issue right now. So you're going to have to approach them for a change of date.
Does the court know what time?
9 o'clock.
It is 1717. Wait, Jonathan, are you saying a pee-pee check?
Right, that's right.
Okay. Yeah, so the
Oh,
court clerk here will get a Superior Court case number, and we will then send all of that out to the parties.
Yay, Jonathan! $13 in the pee-pee. Love it. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
All right, so do we want to, Ms. Mayfield, do we have your contact information so we could send you the notice? Do we have any contact information? Is there anything on it?
Okay,
Yeah,
so
if there's any- yeah, no, keep in mind, Ms. Mayfield, we're going to use the information you provided us for contact.
you shit out of piss out of luck, lady. Aw, you're so sweet, Cellular Yoga Pants. My birthday is March 25th. Yay. I'm turning 36.
Is that-
We are going to watch one more set of hearings.
704 Temple Lake.
That's the address. that I'm looking- I haven't-
Soon to be 50. That's right. Don't forget, that was a name change docket we watched.
I think
Damn,
it's
youngin'. I
You know
feel,
what?
I'm glad that you guys say that. I feel a little bit young.
Get out of court and get all the
Yeah.
information from
Yeah, okay, so your choices are you can just
Piss out of luck, exactly.
head out and we'll send this to the contact information that we have, or if you want to wait, the clerk may be a little while. I have several other cases to deal with that I need her for. Okay, and you know where the court
One
clerk's
is not
office is
bad.
out there. Okay,
Yeah, your birthday's before
With that,
mine.
Your Honor, I should just wait from regarding
I'm sorry, I can't hear you, Mr. Andrews.
I should just wait a word from the clerk as to the new date and time and information.
Yeah, the clerk here will email that to you.
Thank you very much, Your Honor. That being my only matter. May Mr. Barton and I be excused.
Absolutely.
Thank you for the court's patience.
A little bit of an unusual situation.
Not one that I've come across.
Yeah. Oh, well.
Thank you, Your Honor. Have
All
a
right. Thank you, Mr.
There's
Andrews.
not your hotspot back, in and out, in and out.
All right, let's go on to Latoya Jordan versus Michael Johnson.
What? I don't remember.
Is
this.
Latoya Jordan here? Mr. Johnson. And Mr. Johnson, is Mr. Pimentel with you?
No,
Oh,
Your
right.
Honor.
So we are not going to watch this one. He came back once. Then we're skipping ahead. Was it that lady? No, we don't want to listen to them. This lady. Okay, here we go.
She may have accidentally hung up on herself.
Well, that happens. Okay.
Filed a petition for a anti-harassment order against Ms. Gerlach. Just a second here while I bring up my electronic file.
Okay, Judge, you take your time.
There we go. All right, and it looks like, Ms. Gerlach, it looks like this notice was served on you Thursday. Is that right?
Correct. Yes, it was.
Okay. Good. And I wanted to confirm that you got your notice. And then it looks like somebody named Brandon Bray filed something on your behalf.
That is my cousin.
Huh?
Okay, and that looks like that was just put into the file today.
Okay.
All right, I want to make sure that we have everything. All right, so we'll get started here. Can I have both of you raise your right hand, please? Do each of you swear that the testimony you give in this case will be the truth, full truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Yes.
Ms.
Yes,
Gerlach?
Your Honor. Yes, Your Honor.
Then Ms. Holman, you get to go first. Remember, everything that has been placed in the court file in this case is already part of the record. I'm familiar with it. I've read it all. It's not necessary to repeat it, everything. But if you'd like, you can testify and draw my attention to certain aspects of it, certain exhibits, or if you want to make certain arguments on your behalf, feel free to do that. Ms. Holman, go ahead.
Thank you, Your Honor. So we moved into this townhome over a year ago, and from February to the beginning of August, it was the most peaceful, relaxing place to live. The tenant that was next door had moved out, and Miss Gerlach moved in, and literally from the minute she moved in, it has been nothing but chaos. It's either her screaming at her child screaming, running through the house, constantly making noise. She's constantly escalated. I've tried several times, myself, the landlord. I've had to call the cops. We've all tried several times to speak to Ms. Gerlach nicely and ask her, is there a way you can keep the noise down? Any of those types of things. And for a minute, everything seemed to be okay. And it felt like, okay, we're going to be able to, kind of get along and communicate. And then the next time it happened, she just literally, went off the deep end. And ever since then, it's literally every single time she'll pull in the driveway, blasting her music. And I was advised by the police to get it on video. And so I have security cameras that only cover my property. They do not cover her property whatsoever. It's my front door, my driveway, my side of the backyard, and that's all that's covered by my security cameras. When she pulls up in the driveway blasting her music, I look out the window because anybody would do that, just wondering what's going on. Look out the window, you get flipped off. So I started recording, and then that's the video. One of the videos that you have seen is part of my evidence that I had submitted. Not 5 minutes after that video, she came stomping over to my front porch and beat on my door. And I have also sent in a recording of that as well. It's just escalating. It continues to escalate. She does not want anybody to tell her anything or ask her anything. She's been warned many, many times by my.
That's a good question. I think it's country. I do believe that she is blasting country music. That's what I believe. Pop country, but like country pop. You know what I mean? What this is, I think Jody, it was Jody. I don't know if it was good music. And yeah, she's definitely sitting in her windows watching people all the time. It's literally literal, like literally, I literally like every literal thing ever. Oh my God. It's so fun. I'm so sorry for saying that. It's literally my evidence. God. Hi, Salty Buddha. You're late. It's okay if you hit the like button. Oh, you think so? Yeah, I believe it's country. I believe that it's country that you're thinking rap? I don't know, Billy. That's probably why you got shadow banned, to be honest, dude. Celine Dion, very Canadian. Gangsta rap. No, I think that's too much. I think it's something like it's like drunk on a plane or like something like that. You know what I mean? Valley Girl, like literally, like hit the like button, like literally, please. Okay. Oh, stop.
She's been told by the landlord, she's been told by the police to knock off what she's doing, and it just continually escalates. And now I'm to the point to where I feel like I have to have protection on myself when I walk at my front door just to get into my car to go to work. It's unnecessary and it needs to stop. I don't care where she lives. I'm not asking for this order to mean that she can't live where she lives. That I really don't care about that. I really just want her to knock it off and act like a productive adult and, have conversations and, not be so violent and all constantly cussing at me and flipping me off and calling myself and my husband names. Her family members have also called my husband names.
Literally, Jonathan. Thank you. Literally, thank you, Jonathan. Literally. Amazing. Thank you. Literally. Oh, God.
It's just, there's so much. It would just take literally hours to sit and go through all of the things that have led to this point.
Okay. And like I said, everything else that you've filed in support of this has already been reviewed and part of the record in the case, including the videos. All right, Ms. Gerlach, you want to tell me your side of it? And I did,
Yeah.
just so you know, I did review the statement that was filed by Brandon Bray.
Okay. Yes. So yes, Your Honor, I moved in about 6 months ago, and from day one, I kind of knew that this probably wasn't going to be the best fit for me because it has just been kind of a nightmare since day one. These people, not Miss Holman and her husband, they go to bed early, and I understand that. I have a 2-year-old daughter, Your Honor. I just got out of a domestic violence shelter, moving into this place, thinking that this was going to be my safe haven, that I had somewhere to live, somewhere to be, somewhere to raise my daughter. And they, from the beginning, I don't want to hear a crying baby either. I don't want to hear a crying baby. We haven't even been able to sleep in our beds for, I think, approximately 2 months now, because we sleep in the living room, not trying to wake them up. And I don't want to. I feel like I come home and she's in the window, just constantly watching me. And if somebody comes over, she's watching them. If I have a DoorDash or something, someone deliver milk or whatever is coming to the door, they're constantly out there just trying, or I'm sorry, not Miss Holman, but Mr. Holman is trying to intimidate my visitors. I feel like I'm almost living in a fishbowl, like I am being stalked. Like it's to the point where I don't want to be there either. It's but this is where I live and I don't want to be intimidated, but it is taking a toll on me in my life. And I've not engaged in any of this. The one time that I went on their side of the property to knock on their door was to kind of see why she was in the window filming me, because she does that often. But this was the night after she had called the police on me. And the sheriff came to my door and he didn't say anything. He didn't warn me about anything. He took my information down to call me, to be able to call me the next time that she calls them. So that was kind of that. And then I've not had any other police contact about it. And my landlord, that's a completely other story, but he hasn't warned me. He did try to warn me, but I've been working with Safe Place and the advocates the entire time, and they kind of have taken over for me to have to deal with him. So her husband has come over. He's been very aggressive. He's been in my face. He's called me names. I've never called them any name at all, not a single name, and I've never been violent. Because I come from domestic violence. I'm trying to raise a 2-year-old daughter, like my baby. And yeah, of course I yell, but I'm a mom and it's not often, but when I do and I'm frustrated, it's because of, I know I'm trying to keep her quiet and pacify my daughter and keep them happy as well. And it's been hell, to tell you the truth. It has been hell living next to these two.
All right, thank you, Ms. Gerlach.
Your Honor, may I reply?
No.
No, I've heard your side of it.
I just, she
And I
brought up
told you that I
allegations
was-
about my husband and he's sitting
I
right
told
here
you,
and
keep-
they're
keep in
100% not
mind-
true.
Keep in mind, I already heard your side of it. It's like I told you in the beginning.
He's like a
Good.
kindergarten teacher for adults that don't listen. Keep in mind that I already heard all of your side of it. And now I'm gonna rule. Judge said no. Yeah, I'm getting Karen vibes from the other lady. And this poor lady down here, she's just trying to come home with her kid. And yeah, guess what? 2-year-olds don't listen. Do you think, unless she's being abusive, you know what? It's so hard to keep a child quiet all the time. And especially, let's say they go to bed at like 8 o'clock. Oh, God. Fucking nightmare. Fucking nightmare.
Even if you don't agree with what the other party says, you got your chance to tell me your side of it. Okay, now, Ms. Gerlach, I'm going to tell you this. Now, I heard this case when it came in as a request by Ms. Holman for an order without any notice to you. And I didn't do that because I know that there are always at least 2 sides to every story. And I didn't find that there was any kind of emergency situation. And I think that's been borne out here by the testimony and by the exhibits that have been filed. But, before I tell you what my ruling is, Ms. Gerlach, I don't know if you watch those videos, but that's not exactly commendable behavior. I mean, when you act like that, when you pull in your car and when you're flying the bird and, making nasty comments, you're gonna attract their attention. It's almost like it provokes a response. And if you want to be left alone by these people, leave them alone. If you're going to start, their cameras out there, that every time that you go in and out, there's going to be probably a recording of it. If you act in a commendable way, you're not going to draw their attention. But when you flip them off and scream a name, that's exactly what they want to hear. And that just confirms in their mind that you're not a good person. And so they're going to keep keeping book on you and they're going to call the police on you. And the same stuff's going to keep happening. So if you want to avoid this and really, like you told me, you just want to, live your life there without being bothered, then, part of that is how you interact with others. Now, in this case, in any such case, in order to issue an anti-harassment order, I have to be able to find by preponderance of the evidence that harassment has occurred. And that's a course of conduct directed at a specific person that causes that person's serious concern for their mental or physical well-being. And in this case, I don't find that. You know, this is ordinary neighbors who don't get along and don't behave like adults type situation. But that is not the same thing as putting somebody in fear that they're going to be harmed or that anything bad's going to happen to them, other than just the unpleasantness of having somebody next door who, you know, isn't the most pleasant person. That's ordinary life in the world. I can't give you a good neighbor. You can't come to court and then have the court turn your neighbor into a good neighbor. It's not going to happen. Court can protect you from harm or issue an order that says the other person can't harm you, but only if specific findings can be made. And in this case, they can't be made. So the petition for the order is denied. And I'll say what I said before. If this is the beginning of something and things escalate, or if there's any, you know, taking advantage of the situation to try to torment somebody, you know where the courthouse is, you know how this process works. And I certainly hope that it's not necessary to see either of you again under these kind of circumstances.
Thank
All
you,
right.
Your Honor.
The
Literally.
order is denied, and that will conclude your hearing for today.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Literally. Thank you, Your Honor. Thank you, everybody. I hope everybody had a wonderful evening. I really enjoyed that, despite the literally, like, for sure, totally, like, yeah. Other than the lady, like, pissing herself, which was, like, totally, like, literally weird. Anyways, you guys, seriously, that was a blast. I had such a good time. We had such a fun time. Reminder, tonight is Tuesday. Tomorrow is Wednesday. I don't know about, I don't really know what else to say. I can't remember. Anyways, you guys, remember that I love you. I am proud of you, and I will see you in the next video. Oh, it's tacos. That's right. I gotta go make some fucking tacos quickly. This has literally been so much fun. I love you guys. Bye. I literally have to work on an outro. Bye.